Right, all right, go.
All right.
Mike, where you be?
Over here, I'm trying something. All right, fine. I'll just put it on now. Make me waste all this damn money. Good lord. I'm in the tattoo parlor. Hmm.
Sorry.
Go.
Good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Get with some scrubbing bubbles. The scrubbles.
Tell you what, man, NyQuil is a hell of a drug. I said, I tell you what, NyQuil is a hell of a drug. I was out like a light last night. Yeah. My cousin, that's my joint. My joint.
Yeah, so I've got a pretty darn good idea for them to make shooting. You know how they talk about skills gap and all that and everything? I've got a fantastic idea to figure out how shooting can be like a skills gap and actually a skill.
Well, shoot, but I'm just gonna warn you. Hitler thought he had a good idea too. Turned out, not so good.
Okay, I
But
don't think
shoot.
shooting in 2K and shooting Jews is exactly the same thing.
Well, I'm speaking more specifically about an individual having an idea. That's more. Not the,
Well, I got you,
anyway,
but there's still a difference between that type of bad idea and my idea being bad.
well, I mean, obviously, when you get down to the nitty gritty, obviously, I mean,
The nittiest
we're gonna
of the
split
gritty.
hairs here, sure. Yeah, go ahead, shoot. Sorry.
Okay, so you know how?
Well,
I
not
think it's
shoot.
just been the last 2 years
We'll play this.
on the show, where if you do the stick pitching,
The stick pitching.
you can
What is
pitch with
stick
the
pitching?
you can pitch with the analog stick.
Oh, on MLB.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought. Okay.
we are talking about shooting, but I'm using that for reference.
Okay, that's what just threw me off. Okay, sure. Yes, yes. That you can use the analog stick for pitching.
So you pull back, and then you push it upwards, and there's that circle depending on where you place the ball, and you want to push it up towards the circle. You know what I'm talking
Okay.
about?
Yes. No, yeah.
Now, you wouldn't have to push back up in the shooting, per se, but like how they did last year, where you got a shooting boost if you pulled straight back on the stick on your shooting,
Yes.
right? Okay, so
Okay.
we'll kind of taking NBA Live shooting into context too, or you can use the MLB reference, whatever, but how NBA
Yeah,
Live has the
absolutely.
circle at the top of their shot meter.
Which would represent the hoop. I'm assuming.
Right. So you can go, the meter actually goes even a little bit past that circle when you're shooting.
I see where you're going with this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So if you pull straight back, and this way you don't have to have just law of averages or whatever, per se. Like if you can shoot a perfect release, straight pull back, and hit it right in the circle every time, that's a bucket. I mean, that's just, if you shoot a perfect release, pull it straight back,
I had him fucking beat too, man. What are you doing, Mike?
right in the middle of that circle, that's a bucket every time. There's no, hey, I'm releasing at the same time every time. Sometimes it's a green release, sometimes it's not, you know.
Okay.
So then if you pull back a little bit to the right, because like obviously they had that type of feedback in the game last year when you had the stick shooting. So if you pull back a little bit into the right, your shot is going to be a little bit to the right, depending on how far
Right,
you
or
pulled
short
it to the right.
or whatever. Yeah.
Right, depending on where you release
I
it,
got
where you
you.
release the shot and everything. And then obviously they've got to have algorithms where like, okay, so if you do that, it's a little bit long. Okay, well, if I'm a little bit long into the right, depending on how long into the right I am, it's either going to hit the back of the rim and go in, or
Right, you have ball physics.
bounce deep off the back of the rim, and I'm gonna miss or short, all that type of stuff. So if they did that, then they wouldn't have to do the random, all this, and I mean they can still take into consideration, shot contest and all that stuff and everything. I don't know how that would necessarily affect, and maybe it affects the speed of your shot. Like if you got someone coming out to you, the meter will go a little bit faster, depending on how you know, on how close they are to you, or, you know, obviously they can, if they block your shot gets blocked, period. But I think that would be one. It creates a skills get. Well, one, it creates a skill in general. I mean, obviously some people can still shoot with the button, but you don't. When they shoot with the button, obviously they're gonna have to do the, you know, the random, you know, whatever algorithms or whatever they use now when you shoot with the button. But to create like the skills gap, like I said, you know, if you get the straight pullback, or even if, I don't know, I feel like even you may not even be able to shoot with the button anymore. Because I mean, if you're really talking about one game, it's a skill game, you know, skills gap, learn to shoot with the stick.
You commented on two of my concerns. One, if someone chooses to shoot with the button,
they'll always have that old controller though. It's the same like controllers in NHL '94.
What if I know my shot all day, every day, and it's not blocked, and I can drop it in that circle every time?
Then you miss then you make it every time, and somebody better guard you. I mean, because that's the thing, is if you don't get it.
Okay, so like,
well, I'm talking about if you're shooting with the stick. I'm talking about if you're shooting with the stick. If you're shooting with the button, they obviously have to use the type algorithm or whatever that they use now, because obviously you can't. Because obviously, I mean, I know my shot like crazy. I get greens all the time, so yeah, they got to use that whatever algorithm.
They have to change the defense too
if they use the button. But like, I think the defense last year was better than it was this year. Like, being able to choose which side, you know, which hand you're going to try and steal with. You know, you actually were able to poke the ball loose with your hand instead of having to run into somebody to get the ball to knock loose. But I don't know, I was just thinking about that like the last couple of days, thinking that would be an awesome skills gap, like to be able to shoot that way. It creates a skills gap. It makes people learn how to shoot.
I don't dislike the idea, I'll tell you that. I just see like the shot contest things, like the 7-3 aspect, right? The sharpshooting 7-3s with that Russell Westbrook release.
Right.
So if I go up to him and I'm in his face with a hand up, not jumping, just a hand up with a contest,
right,
he drops that more often than not. If I actually jump into him, it has the shot contest effect. But I have to be right on him or meet him at the top, otherwise it won't matter. So from the shot contest aspect would be my concern of that.
Well, see, that's what I was saying. I was like, depending on how close the person is to you.
Maybe it shakes, maybe the screen shakes.
Right,
a little bit more.
That or
in your face.
That or depending on how quick they are. That or like I said something about that before. Like maybe it'll make your if you're heavily contested, it'll make your meter go faster.
Yeah, or it goes invisible or something. It goes transparent or something. Yeah, like that. I'm okay. I could co-sign that if there was some kind of. I mean, obviously kicking the can. I don't hate the idea though.
If you're wide open, you know, you can shoot. Like you can go to your gym and shoot all day long, and the meter's going to be exactly the same. You can practice, get your jumper down. Well, but if somebody's in your face, that timing isn't going to be exactly the same.
Shots. Okay, so let's. What if? Because this year, when you shoot with the stick to get a bank shot, you throw it forward.
Right.
I know sometimes that been like that in years past, and sometimes it'll just you're having that Tim Duncan angle.
Right.
And they'll shoot it off the backboard for you. So like, okay, that would make shooting off the glass from the angle crazy important if every shot was going forward. Even if you didn't have, well, yeah. Do you remember those games when they first started doing foul shooting where it was up, down, left, and right? Like you'd have a ball going up and down on this frame on a foul shot, and you have to get in the zone, bang. It's like basically like a big cross. and you had to get the shot in between. It was like only foul shoot.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think of when you're going with that.
I forget
like,
what old school games that was, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So how could that's pretty much that idea. I mean, that's the way to get off button, but throwing it forward. I don't hate the idea, especially because I'm playing PGA. It's the same. Look out below. Okay. It's the same thing. Like, you can have a great pullback, but if you don't throw that forward straight on, your ball's going out of control. Especially if you want to add power to it. Yeah, I had Augie hit me up, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You might add him into the parties.
Shit, it is mine. I would have done that. I'm just the first person to jump in. Lloyd, thanks for that.
Ooh, it'd be nice if Oakland got on, and then we could do some Alienation.
Alright, take
We are a part of Alienation.
Yeah, I definitely don't dislike the idea. I think there's something to it. But I just hate how every year people find this cheese shit, like the 7-3 Russell Westbrook crap.
Right.
It's such a percentage of it going up, where everybody else, you can just get to them and put a hand up. But because they're 7-3 and all this, and you see so many people doing it, it's like...
So, I mean, that's one thing they always talked about last year. Like, when you got the boost, and actually it wasn't, last year you didn't get the boost. It was 2 years ago you got the boost. Because I didn't ever. It was 2 years ago that you got the boost if you pulled it straight back. Or was it last year? Was it last year?
Last year. It was last year.
Okay, it was last year. But I quit using the stick after they nerfed all the shooting, and my dude couldn't shoot from the outside anymore. So I was like, okay, well, there's no point in me shooting with the stick if I'm not getting the boost anymore.
I started using the stick. The first time I started using the stick was halfway through, actually on Yodi's advice. And he was like, yo, I'm telling you, shoot with the button. So I started shooting the button, the ball started dropping a lot more.
What's up?
So I was like, oh, okay. What up?
Not much.
But yeah, because I mean, like I got my shot down where I was pulling it on straight back almost every time. So then it comes down to your release, how contested you are, etc., etc. I mean, I guess you could go as far as like you have to push back up on the stick too. But then when you I guess it doesn't matter because you're still gotta release it right in the circle or whatever. But
yeah, timeout. If we're tied and our team grade total is a B and theirs is a C plus, shouldn't one of our players get team of the player of the half?
I think it just depends on who is ahead for most of the half. I think is how they do it. I don't really know, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, but you're leading, and then the counter to that is if you're leading the entire game and only by 2, take a last second shot and it's good. It gives us the lead as time expires. We can still get player of the half. I don't like that 2K. No, sir. I don't like it.
Oh.
You got a problem here, buddy?
That was my bad, Mike. I always get.
Don't sweat it, man.
You're too mixed up when because they switch you guys up back and forth.
Oh, I'm actually not trying though.
I know that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh, they got the hard on me.
Oh, got win.
Sure. Yeah, take his small ass off him.
Okay, I gotta stop leaving him.
Oh, I couldn't get moving. I think also one of my first things we did. Was wide open. Application, just dump it in. Turn the sheet. Get it out. No. Sorry. Oh, man. That was funny, man. Ever since I told you guys that, hey Eric, where's the enemy story? I've been thinking about that on a daily and laughing on it daily.
Told us what?
I don't know how we got on the topic. I won't go into too many.
Told us
Basically,
what?
in
What
my
story?
Xbox days. Hey Eric, where's the enemy? The funniest video game moment I've ever experienced. It was on my Call of Duty days on Xbox. And this kid came in without. It's just a random, and he had a high, had a high pitched voice. Easily. The funniest.
I just hit both of those 100% and neither one of them turned green.
Easy.
Oh, I missed. Washed. Kids washed. I have like 48 hours played on Fortnite, which is crazy to me. So I can't even imagine how many hours played I have on this thing. Yeah. Oh my god. I could be a doctor. I wouldn't want to. Maybe one of the cool doctors, like an eye doctor. They don't really do shit. They just kind of say, "Hey, you're blind," or like, "Hey, you can see."
So you played about 40 hours on Fortnite?
48.
48.
I don't think I've played 40 minutes of Fortnite, even though I downloaded it.
It's
the most hateful, amazing game of all time. I get so pissed off, but I can't stop playing. Yeah, I hate how much I love the game. I hate it. You were like, I get it. One of the challenges now, like one of the challenges for this week, is to dance in places that you're not allowed to dance. So there's like little signs that say no dancing on them. You're supposed to dance in front of those. That's like there's like 5 different ones that there's signs at. I've done 2 so far. Sorry, just getting stuck.
Why was she pushing at the door?
The guy across the street was getting his mail.
Thanks.
Oh.
I am too husband. Yeah, that's quick.
Happened. Did we lose James?
yeah, and Mike.
Oh, Jesus. We're going to fucking Octaton.
Tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Invite him back into the party.
Oh, it said you were gone too.
Yeah, because I dropped out to ask him to have him.
Oh, I just sent you both. I sent you both one.
No.
Our matey. Swinging.
Got a minute left, dog.
Landon, that's enough. Hey, chill out.
Jab, jab. Take him to the hole. Whack. That man took two of the funniest KOs ever. He ran into that ring post. Oh.
That was one quiet ass 37 points.
Well, they switched the guards on to me.
I was thinking that at halftime when he had 18. I was like, how does he have 18 points? True story. I was not thought he had that.
All right,
Natural born scorer.
load into Augie.
Yes. BRB.
On 150,000, but I'll settle out of court for $20. Augie gonna, or is Oak gonna be on it all today, Aug?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Oh man.
Why are you being so hyper?
I love being that way.
No, I don't.
Whoa, you did it. You did it.
Cookie Crisp?
I just scored a 130 in that basketball little arcade game.
It's kind of big in the store. So Ozzy,
What?
Stella's going on a walk.
And she needs to.
Uh-huh. I'm going to get up here and see you play your game. Of course. Yeah. You don't know it? I didn't get here. It's here. So I did. Of course, I just put it on the spot.
What are you doing?
Mike, what are you doing?
I went to Brown training. I'm out of 92. Okay.
You were always that dude where we're loading in and you just disappear and you're like not there. You're like, where are you at? Like, oh, I went to the Brian's office and I'm training.
Yeah, this year, and as of late, yes, we can say that for sure. The past week, you guys have definitely been in on it. But generally, I'm pretty good with that. I'm usually not that guy. But yeah, as of late, for sure. Guilty as charged.
So I just keep waiting for you to pop into the neighborhood so I can send you a squad invite. And every time I look, it's like, nope, you ain't here.
Nope, no. You wait a couple more seconds. Good thing is I'm at 52.5. So, yeah, I think it's my second time. I have no idea. I'm doing. I got a black screen.
I'm not rushing you. I was just asking.
No, I mean, of course.
Ow, damn it!
Definitely this past week, though.
Dude, honestly, I can't remember. Maybe you'll know. I just can't remember. Like, even with my sharp. Like, after you built your badges up, did you start getting more greens? The higher the badges got?
I was able to do what I wanted to do easier. So, like, once I got posterizer, I was able to dunk on people a lot more. Once it made that jump from bronze to silver and eventually gold, those chances went up and up and up each time.
I was just talking about specifically, like, shooting.
Yeah, it does, because with my sharpshooter that I've made,
like corner specialist and all that. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
all my stuff's like silver now, and I'm shooting way better than I was.
Alright. I just hate the grind so much, dude. Like, I was just like, that was kind of waiting, not making another player. But I was just like, I guess I'll make another player. It's like,
See, it would be dope. I mean, it would be pointless. But if the VC carried over,
yeah, right. 2K
Yeah,
would
exactly.
never do that.
no chance. But I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, it'd be amazing. Or at least if like at least a percentage of it, at least. Like, okay, I get it. You want people to buy VC and everything, but like at least a percentage. Because I mean, most people make multiple players. So at least if I got a bunch of VC at the end, at least let me get a head start on one of my players without having to buy some VC. Or if I've got enough VC to rank up one dude, at least let me rank up my one dude at the beginning of next year.
Yeah, where I don't have to.
Or don't allow me to use it for rankings. Allow me to use it for all the other shit that's in the game that I have to spend VC on.
Right, shoes, tattoos, haircuts, whatever.
Yeah, that's that stuff.
I mean, just let me at least. Like I said, most people make multiple dudes. Like I get it. Eventually, you get so much stuff throughout the course of the game that probably, if you play a lot, you're not gonna be running around spending all your VC, and so you're probably gonna start stacking it up at the end of the game if you're playing it. You know, if you're playing it at the end of the cycle. You know, if you're still playing a lot, obviously you're gonna be racking up VC. So yeah, you don't want people going into the next game with 1,000,000 VC because, well, yeah, obviously they're not going to buy any if you let all that carry over. But at least let me load some of it on one dude, enough to. I'd say let me keep enough VC. Yeah, well, I was going to say to max out a guy, but if you had enough VC to max out a guy, then you'd still be able to do multiple players up to an 85. So at least let me have enough VC to get my first dude all the way up to 85 before I have to start grinding.
No, both of us
Or
both of us
if I hate a guy that I got to 85, I should be able to take him out and get that VC back.
No, some of you.
Maybe a percentage, but something. You got to give me something. Right, but you can't like.
But on a dude, that's tough.
Yeah, but they made it so that now 7 free players are better than a 99 overall 610.
Next year,
just because he's 7'3".
Next year, 2K's good.
And I mean, don't even get me started on that. You know, I feel with that. But.
Next year, 2K is gonna be sponsored by Let Go, and you're gonna be able to sell your shoes back for a portion of the VC.
Whatever, man. Hey, you know what? If I can rep it, if it's a sponsorship and I can rep it in the gym, in my court, and make that happen, I'm down. Let Go sponsor. I'll be their spokesperson, no problem.
Yeah, but I gotta pay to get a haircut that I can't see beforehand.
And tattoos that you
the
can't
amount
tell
that
what
they're charging,
Preview
you can see it.
That they still didn't fix. Well, I find it crazy that they've completely done away with like the team basketball. Maybe that's just weird to me, but like, well, like the create your own team like type deal, and like playing through that, like the tournaments they had, and like best set of teams, so on and so forth. Like that being completely gone now is like crazy to me. Yeah, like. That could be a lot of.
Tournaments. Does anybody know how they are able to run those on Gamer Saloon since there's no matchmaking?
here?
No idea.
Maybe it's a blacktop. It's not an actual.
No, they have pro-am teams.
I have no idea.
I mean, like tournaments and
You must
stuff,
have to
like where
connect
they've
to a
got their
certain server.
team names and stuff.
You must have to connect to a certain server, and clearly it works if you press X at the same time as other people, because look at what happened with us. When we went back to back with that one team.
Right.
Because no one else was on.
Well, that
Well,
might have been
there
that
is a way
issue.
that
That might
you
have been
can
that issue
make
too,
it-
though, because nobody else was on. Not just because we hit X at the same time. Maybe there was just nobody else was on.
Well,
Maybe
true,
there's
but
something.
Augie and I got in the same game by hitting X at the same time.
True, but that worked
And
one out of what?
Oh no! Yes, no question.
How many combine windows that we tried to do that?
Uh,
And that was
yeah.
the
Yeah, but
only.
you guys were they were the same position. And normally it was paired up based off of that.
Oh, I didn't think Og played with a power forward.
Yeah, he played power forward.
Oh.
Because they went mano a mano. Balls beating each other.
It's actually one of my better offensive games.
Because Augie couldn't play
Not
any
very
defense
good
on
defensive.
you. Is that what you're saying?
What?
Is that 'cause you're saying
No.
Augie couldn't D you up? Is that what you're saying?
No, the story of that game was that I went off early because I realized it early. So I was like, "Yo, just give me some room. Let me do what I can do, and we'll be okay." And it worked out. And then they stopped giving me the ball. I had like 8 points in the first like 3 possessions, 4 or 5 possessions, something like that. I ended up with 12 points. 8 or 9 rebounds and 8 or 9 assists or something like that. Very close to a triple-double. But in the second half, he started running pick and roll all the time, and they started dropping it in. And he was finishing at the buck. I forget what he had, an athletic finishing rebounder or something like that, I think. So he ended up winning the game, but yeah. He had a better team for sure, and moved the ball. I had a big man that wouldn't rotate down. You know how hard that is as a big to try. If you're a step late, it's tough. You got to be ahead of the plays the entire time.
Come on, walk
Nobody
overs,
wants
let's
to play
go.
us. I was gonna say, you guys ever do the all-star matchup?
I haven't
Yeah.
for a long time.
I'm down to run that.
I normally torch people.
I'm sorry?
I normally torch people.
I mean, we'd only have to worry about one random. And people usually quit when they don't get the ball.
Can you
Just
even
an idea.
guarantee that you'll be squatted up when you do that? I
Yeah.
don't even know. It's been so long since I've done it.
Yeah, because you go into... you remember the first year when they had those locker rooms?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. You like load into
There's
a
3 dudes.
little area, and then it takes you to the searching server type deal. Like that's how I thought possibly they could do it with Gamer Saloon. But I don't think you can get 10 guys in. And I don't think you have the ability to use your created guys. Because that's what this is all for.
No, the way I understood it, they had like pro-am tournaments. Like with actual pro-am teams, like had their team names and everything up on the boards. on Gamer Salute. And like, I'm not talking like they did like one-on-one tournaments and stuff like that, 2v2 tournaments, stuff like that. But like literally,
You just get a nice little franchise going.
Entire pro teams.
Fantasy draft.
Oh, I'm down for something like that for sure.
Maybe when
my
MLB
GM
comes
skills.
out.
I'm down for all of that.
I'll trade you.
I don't know if I would enjoy playing 5-on-5 in this game enough that I would want to do that.
What we could do to counter that, or how sometimes I like to do it, because there are so many different people's shots that it's hard to get into a rhythm. It takes a while to learn everyone's shot.
Right.
So we could do player lock. Like lock on one dude, and...
you could do that. Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we draft our team, fantasy draft, we all go in, we all draft our team, and then we player lock in the game on specific, first person that comes to mind is Ben Simmons. So I player lock on him, and when he sits out, I'm locked on the player that
replaced him.
I think it's position.
Yeah.
But as you lock on the small forward.
Yeah, it's position.
And then whoever his replacement is, so
It's
what,
the
you
same
have to
on
learn two
the
jump shots?
on the All-Star matchup. Like if your dude subs out because he's tired, you get whoever's at that position that subs in for him.
Right, yes, correct. Correct. So if you want to do something like that, if you didn't like the controlling offense, which I'm not very good at, that's how I would have played anyway.
Gotcha. You're about to get
So
the unholy
if
neck
that
shot,
helps,
James.
I'm down.
Yeah, you can. Oh, you guys don't want another Team USA? That's fine with me. I want none of those. I want none of those bastards. I want none of those bastards. Yeah, you can.
What the? How's that a block? Ah, that's terrible.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, it depends on where you get picked, too, or where your picks are. Because I'll tell you what, I'm a win now player.
You would possibly take above him. Would you take LeBron James?
I'm taking Jeff Teague.
My man. That's hilarious. He said, I'm taking Jeff Teague.
With the first overall pick. Team Teague selects Jeff Teague.
Shit, What is that?
And
What
if
is
not,
that rule
and if I
called?
don't get him, I'm trading for him.
Yeah, we could do protect players too.
Oh wow, that's tough. No LeBron, no Giannis, no Harden.
The captain. That's the name they gonna give him. That's terrible.
It's Derek Jeter. You sounded like one of the tennis guys. You let him pick a team.
I have no idea. I haven't talked to him in a couple of days.
$20 says he picks the Thunder. Or they join forces. Dun dun dun.
I'm pretty sure I'd create my team before him. So I'd get the Sooners. The Harlem Globetrotters.
You wouldn't want to see the money team out there.
I don't know
I
if
put
you
Floyd at
can
point
do
guard
it
right now.
now. I don't know if the game will let you do it like you can do it in MLB. Now, could you do legendary players in that draft too?
Yeah, you can. You could just
Yes,
have
the only
everyone.
default to that is you're going to get 5-6 Jordans.
Yeah, well, no, you could set it so that only one player of.
You can?
Yeah.
Positive.
Yes.
I was gonna say if
And
you're
I
on
mean,
the
you could
same,
last year.
if you're on the same thing, you'd have to be able to do that.
Because otherwise, I'm drafting
Unless
5
there's,
MJs.
well, I guess I forgot about that.
And
I
a
guess there is
LeBron.
different.
Actually, 4 MJs and a LeBron.
I forget there is different teams.
Right, that's what I'm
have-
saying. There's an 85, 88,
Right.
93, and
You
96.
just pick the best of each. So like LeBron would be like 2011 Miami Heat LeBron. Wade would be 06. You'd have Kobe from like 2000, like.
A live version of him.
Yeah, everybody that's in there now.
So Vince Carter,
now
70.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to.
I want Kobe's last game, Kobe. No, just the last fourth quarter Kobe of his very last game. That's the Kobe I want. Because that man wasn't missing. Or 81 Kobe? What year was that? Put Jalen Rose on there.
I can't believe I got that. Oh man, I love you, AI.
Oh, not what I was, but, works out. Oh, that'd have been powerful. Who goes first in that? Like, that's almost impossible. I mean, Jordan's... Uh-oh. But you're prime Shaq in there.
That's what would be so interesting. You know, I think.
Nope. Not a chance.
Dude, that's the third one in 2 games that I got 100% on the free throw and it didn't turn green.
That's nuts.
It's kind of weird. I don't know that I'd seen
GG.
that before today. Can you watch your mouth on my live stream, please, sir? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
See, I got mind control over D-Boy. He'd be like, shut the fuck up.
Now be quiet.
Be quiet.
When I leave,
When he leave?
I'll be talking again.
Oh, come on, motherfucker. Ay, ay, ay.
What the French, Toast?
Mother Funkin' Wagnall's Dictionary.
Wow. 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 Oh.
Because the thing with like my shot meter idea I was talking about, you can still get your green releases if you have a straight down pullback that's green, and you hit the middle of the circle.
Oh, really?
It's in his eye.
I tried to create as much space as I could.
Mm.
Oh, damn it.
It was about to turn green.
He's shooting great.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
1 of
He's 1
7.
for 7.
1.
1. Check.
With that you said.
We take him to school. Dishing the rock.
Was that the one you said you were in the combine with that you were getting ticked off at?
No, that guy was. He reminded me of Murder.
Of who?
I think he was from Detroit. It wasn't Murder Capital. It was like Murder City. Murder City. Oh, yeah, that wasn't. I called him some names.
What names did you call him?
Nah, I'm not proud of it, so I'd rather not.
A vaginal muffin.
Yes, something like that.
You ragamuffin.
No.
Apparently not.
It's yeah. Well, it goes to one defender, the main defender. It goes to him, not the help D.
Got him. Yeah.
Or on YouTube.
I get phone calls as a resident.
You what?
Saying you need to watch our mouths, right? This is like PG-13.
I don't care, dude. I'm just kidding. There's nobody watching it. There was actually somebody watching it earlier.
Yeah, it was me.
Oh.
Look at this
Views of you. I was gonna say. So what about you condone drug use?
What?
Well, it's just a plant. It's not really drug use.
Hey man, I gotta show my dude some support.
What
Get his views
are we
up.
talking about? Like, are we talking about what?
I just lit a joint.
Oh.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, I don't think that we need to tell anybody that, but okay. Yeah, that was a bad shot.
This is a disgrace.
Oh, whoa! I was trying to jab step, and it shot. Oh, I pushed forward to the right, and it like made me shoot. Ooh. A little side to side shit. Fucking cornflake.
I didn't realize they were actually back in the game.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Hey, I tried to get him.
Didn't give me my
Down
dribble
part
move. I was
rapidly.
trying to do that snatch back right there, and instead of snatching back, he just like stopped. It was like Eddie Murphy in the first beginning of the original Beverly Hills Cop. My dude, he just stopped, man. He just stopped. He didn't even do that pullback.
I hate them, man. Hate them. Hate I should have used this.
Yeah, it stuck me there. I was trying to release up to the top, but it just held me there. AI.
Ah! It's terrible. Take a foul. Give me a foul. But I don't think it was a foul. It was like chased on me.
Down there, sir. That was a huge play.
Oh.
Get out of here. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, never mind.
Shoot.
Ah!
No, not you. I was talking
I
about
seen you
Augie.
coming. Well, I seen Mike
It's
slipping in, so
1.2
I thought I could
seconds. You
get
can't
it to
get a
him.
pass in. I'll pump a pass and a shot. Oh, damn it.
Green bean.
Ah. Pass. My bad, dog. What the fuck was that? We're supposed to finish athletically.
I'm smelling like planners. Yeah, I didn't realize how much time was left on the clock. I probably wouldn't have taken that shot. Especially because my timing isn't exactly great on my jump shot right now. Messing with that other dude. And playing career, because your career, the timing is way different.
There's your hard foul, Mike.
Right? That's
Have corn flake.
Come here, you little cornflake.
Now, have you guys played that? You and Og have been on that P. Have you guys played that Everybody's Golf?
I would have, but it was $40 compared to 12.
Because you can,
So
like,
I'm in the financial position.
on that one, you can actually team up.
Yeah, you can
That's
customize your
apparently what
golf.
this new golf game is gonna have.
What new golf game?
Whenever the hell that drops.
I guess you can create your own golf course in that too.
What new golf game you talking about, Mike?
It's coming out in like they said the third quarter of this year.
What's it called?
I'll get back to you on that.
No, I want to know now.
Right now. Are we back now? We were talking about that whole everything else. That's why I wasn't sure.
Oh, you want to try it? I'll try it. Okay.
Do
I
what?
mean, I'm down.
The franchise thing.
Oh.
Let's see what else. Let's see some. Hold on.
There's one out now that looks pretty decent too, called the Golf Club, or actually I think it's the second version of it. It's called the Golf Club 2. But it's like it's more like the Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, like legit golf, not the cartoony, like everybody's golf. Like the everybody's golf one, where I'm talking about, like when I say you can play on the set, like you can team up on that. Like they've got it. It's almost like, on the old Tiger Woods, where you'd be competing against other people online. It was almost like horse, and you tried to take control of the greens, and whoever had the most greens at the end would win. Like one of the mini games. Like whoever hit it closest to the hole controlled that green, and you had to try to get the most greens your color.
I remember that.
It was on like one of the mini games. But basically, if you hit the ball closest to the hole, or some of it might be even if you got your ball to land on the green, I can't remember. I'm thinking it was closest to the hole though. Say your color is blue and the other dude's is red, and you're like there were greens that were different distances, so you'd have to pick out clubs and all kinds of stuff, like quick pick your clubs and shoot and everything, because it was like timed. And then like whoever hit it closest to the hole, the green would turn that color, and then they had to hit one closer to the hole to get the green to change their color.
I remember a mini game in Tiger Woods that like if you beat somebody in a hole, like you gotta take a club out of his hand.
Yeah, that was one of the other mini games too.
Yeah.
But this was, well, actually, I think that might have been a whole mode, but this one was a mini game. Well,
yeah, dude, I beat Jordan's ass so bad. He had to fucking drive with his putter.
On the Everybody's Golf, they've got a thing like that where you team up, but whoever has the lowest score on the hole, but like you literally can run on the golf course, and like you're running around to different holes, and so you're trying you're trying to control each hole, but like you've got like 5 people on a team, so you're running around playing all different holes, and if you see like a hole next to you turn the other team's color, then you want to run over there and try and beat their score or whatever.
I got you.
I only know that because I saw it on the playable demo. It's kind of neat looking though.
It's like capture the flag for golf.
Can't wait on, son. Banger! Good kick.
No more.
I
Yeah,
must
that shit
admit,
stinks.
though, I'm getting kind of excited for the show since I didn't get last year's. Getting kind of excited
Yeah,
for
I'm
it.
down with that game too. Down to do a franchise and
Yeah, we tried that 2 years ago, and that didn't really work out all that well.
yeah, it's because we stopped playing and we didn't really know what we were doing.
Well, that was also Oak was the one in there, and he kind of fell. I think that might have been right on the time didn't he have one of his PlayStations
Yeah, it's
break?
true. Yeah, something like that.
That or his TV broke or something. I had to get a new TV. I can't remember, but he hopped off for a while.
HDMI port or something.
Yeah, it was.
This is a combination of both.
And then I literally, for his birthday, I paid for him to get that fixed. And then fucking, like, a couple weeks later, it just broke again. I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing to your PlayStation? You pull that goddamn thing off the wall?
Pull up. What's that? MLB?
I'm just saying if we could play together,
Oh yeah, that would be dope.
should be awesome.
I mean, basically, like you're doing your road to the show, but you're controlling. I mean, just like this. Honestly, it'd be cool. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
it'd be. I think they're well, at least for they're changing it up a little bit. Not road to the show, but at least on your my team or not your my team, your Diamond Dynasty.
Diamond Dynasty.
They're changing it up this year because you know how you could always make a created player and then feed them cards and
Yeah.
end up making your dude like a complete monster. I think they're doing almost similar to this, like an archetype system. So you're not going to have some shortstop that's 6'6" that flies down the base pass and hits 60 home runs a season after you feed him a bunch of cards.
Right.
It's going to be like a specific different types of players. Like they're not going to be able to do everything like you can now. Like I assume your Diamond Dynasty dude will still be able to do that, but not just your creative play or your Road to the Show. Your Road to Show players should still be able to do that. The more you build them up, but Diamond Dynasty, your creative dude won't be able to. It was the way it
I
sounded
just
on
need him right in the face.
Way to block that with your knees, Mike.
Appreciate that, man.
I think it would kind of feels like it'd be the same. Like it'd be the same if you're playing. Like if you were to do that, be able to do that on this game or on MLB, like create a dude and play different positions and stuff like that. Like it feels like they might have to do like an archetype system. So like dudes aren't coming up and every dude that's on there is hitting like 400
Yeah, exactly.
foot bombs.
That's okay. They have to find a way. They have to. And Madden FIFA has it. This game has it. WWE has it. UFC has it.
Well,
slightly.
UFC and them are different since it's like one-on-one, but yeah.
Right, but the point is, you can take your dude that you do your career with and bring him online.
Right. And honestly, I guess I wouldn't really have a problem if people did that, like built their own dudes, like for Road to the Show, and then brought them online, because it would be the same for like pitchers. If pitchers did that, I mean, there's going to be some, some crazy, ridiculous pitchers that are throwing, huge fastballs and hooks and knuckleballs and all kinds of stuff. So I guess it really wouldn't be that big of a deal.
It would all even out.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it would be like this. You're going to see some dudes that are coming to the sand lot or whatever they want to call it and playing with a 60, and some dudes are coming with a 85, 90, whatever.
Ah!
The rebound was good, huh?
Yeah. Yes. Follow.
The outfield and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that camera view they have, that's fucking terrible. But it would be so cool. And they have 9-on-9, whatever.
Like, I feel
people
like,
put out.
yeah, like I don't like the first person
they get
view
an AI.
from the outfield because it's too hard because, damn. Yeah, I feel like it's too hard, like, especially because
Okay. Let's go to James.
the ball indicator or whatever to tell you where to run and all that stuff when they hit a fly ball, it's too hard to read.
I always do the showtime or whatever it's called to slow it down whenever a ball's hit, so I can get like a jump on it.
Like, it just shows you, it kind of tells you what direction to run, but you don't know anywhere where the target's at or anything like that. Like, I'd prefer it was just like a third-person view where it was just like it is if you're playing,
Correct.
everybody.
Single player, whatever.
Right.
Yep, I agree. But it'd be so cool to turn 2 or 3 of us relay, or we all get a single and James comes up and knocks us in, grand slam. Like, it would be sticking. It'd be so cool. Gotta work the count. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just like Battle. That was the name of that game. Fortnite. Autofill. Like this, you can jump in with some randoms. Have it be statistically based. So, like NHL or FIFA, the better you do. Like this game, the better you do, the better off your guy will be. The quicker he'll.
Hey, where'd you get those from? Where'd you get these from?
Who are you talking to?
Somebody in his house. I assume that's why he caught the ball and stopped and then traveled.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah, I think That would be awesome. But I also want to know your
Custom batting stances.
which they are doing this year.
Right, but I'm just saying, even if they didn't do it, which is going to be awesome, but let's just say it wasn't like that. It was just like, yeah, I got Griffey's, whatever. We all have different ones, like just like jump shots, like different accessories, the whole nine, like helmets, pine tar bats.
What in the world was that?
It would be, I don't know. I think they're missing out really bad on that.
Right.
I mean, because I know Heather and I will do that, and it's fun going back and forth.
Right.
We can't turn two. One person pitches, one person plays the field, but like going back and forth is fun.
Right. And then you doesn't it alternate hitters when you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
So it's.
Yeah, that would be good times. Now this is the other thing that I want to know, what you think about, what you guys think about 2K this year, like what they improved on, what they didn't improve on, they need to make better next year, etc. No thought. I think James might be on the phone. I haven't heard him say anything for a minute. Mike?
No, I was just getting cough in my lung out.
Oh. No response to any of the 2K question? Like, I figured you'd jump right in.
Well, with the 7-3 cheesehead, I can't say.
Okay, yeah, that's obviously something that needs to be fixed.
Like I said, I thought the combine was on something. Your lockdown people are like basically the same, so you get the cheesy builds, but like it's also hard to play together with a team at that point. But it's not so cheesy.
Well, I think they can, without making it like, because I didn't enjoy the combine all that much. I thought they nerfed the shooting far too much, which, I mean, I get it, like maybe nerfing some of the shooting to an extent. Like, I think, like, one thing I was thinking, like the shot meter I was talking about earlier, I think one that would curb it some, because it would make it more skill based, for one. For two, I mean, it brings more physics into play, so it's more going to be a legit game. But yes, definitely got to bring out the 7-3 cheesers. Like, I thought the shooting was somewhat upgraded this year. I think the defense is much worse this year because you can't steal the ball.
Stealing was just collision.
Right. That's like the only way you can do it is run into some dude's the side where he's dribbling the ball and hope it gets knocked loose. Very, very rarely do you see somebody actually, like, sometimes a dude might strip it loose when somebody's down low. That's maybe the only time you'll see that animation.
They need to fix the computers being the best defensive players in the game.
For sure.
At a 60 overall.
Snagging Jerry Rice type catches when dude's throwing a pass, especially when they're supposed to be a 60 overall.
I'm partial to Chris Carter when it comes to hands. But yeah,
I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm a Vikings fan, but I think it's pretty given that Jerry's the greatest of all time. But I think Chris Carter's probably a pretty close second, in my opinion.
You talking about Vikings all time?
Receivers all time.
And you're putting Chris Carter at 2?
I think he's got an argument for it. I'm not saying
One
he
could
is
make
for
an
sure.
argument for that, absolutely.
I don't think it's a good argument. Like, I could argue that I'm wearing a purple shirt right now.
Well, I'm not sitting
But I'm
there,
not.
so I don't give a shit. You can argue all you want. Like I said, I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I'm not saying that it's guaranteed that
he's one of my
second.
favorites of all time.
I'm not saying it's guaranteed that he's the second best of all time, but I think it's pretty widely. I think it's pretty widely given fact that Jerry Rice is considered the best all time. Most people won't argue that, and I think.
Like, is Randy Moss not a wide receiver anymore?
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at Randy Moss, you can't. Randy Moss was for one, his rookie year was playing opposite Chris Carter, so which can't take away from him. He was put into a pretty good situation. The 1 year with Tom Brady, okay, but outside of that, he bounced around to 3, 4, 5 different teams. He's a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest to ever do it.
He wasn't any good
athletically,
he wasn't any good
probably
with the
the
Raiders.
most gifted receiver to ever play. But if you're asking me if I'm taking Randy Moss or Chris Carter,
I'd say arguably the fastest. I don't know if I'd say most athletically gifted. There's definitely an argument for it, but he definitely was probably one of the fastest.
As a pure receiver, I'm taking Chris Carter over Randy Moss. Now, we're talking specific. I need a downfield threat. I need a tall receiver to fill that role.
And somebody that's going to go over the middle and catch it and not scared to go over the middle. Because that's
catch everything sideline, the whole nine.
Because that was one thing that Randy was
Randy Moss,
known to not want to
do.
Argument he didn't want to go over the middle.
Speed-wise, that you would take him over Jerry Rice. But nobody in their right mind would take him over Jerry Rice. So, oh, get out of here with that.
Who has the best hands of all time?
Me? If for my money, Chris Carter.
That's crazy.
Why does it pull me into him when I'm trying to do
James, there's a lot of
floater
football
shot
that happened before 1998, 99, 2000. The whole life, there's guys like Steve Largent.
Largent was tough.
Dude, I mean...
Yeah, but it's the same. We're talking about the same argument as we have in basketball.
No, but hands. You're just saying hands.
Right, and hands alone, I think Moss has some of the best hands of all time.
No question. No question. But that wasn't.
Yeah. Dude, I'm a Vikings fan, so obviously I love Randy Moss. I'm not saying that he's not up in there in that conversation. I would say he's arguably number 2 as well. I mean, I think you can make an argument for both of them.
Absolutely, you can make an argument for it.
That's all. All I'm saying is I think Chris Carter definitely has an argument. That's all I'm saying. Oh my gosh, dude, did they nerf my jump shot, or am I just really that off just because I'm messing with this new player trying to build?
Like, would you take T.O. or Randy Moss?
Who?
T.O.
No, I can't hear you because it's everything's echoing. Randy Moss. No. I think over the years at every position we get better players, though, is my thing. Like, I get that a lot of people are like, oh, my era was the best era of all time, and that's it. Like, that's what 90% of the public thinks as. And because that was the best player at your time, it's now the best player ever. Where now they're faster, stronger, and bigger, and you're like, he would be better than this guy. That's fucking insane to me.
No question, but I mean, eventually it's going to get to a time where, like, you're a D-Wade fan.
This would be my
And we
argument.
talked about this. D-Wade being you think is the third greatest shooting.
Second best shooting guard, yeah. Oh no, third. Sorry. Well, it's just, I mean, I don't know if I would say it. It's hard to say. I don't know if I can see a lot of shooting guards. Like, I think James Harden definitely has an argument if he keeps going how he's going.
But yeah, like okay, so like someone can sit there and say that when it's all said and done, and you'll have the championship argument because I don't think Harden's going to get 3 or however many Wade has. But someone is going to like someone can say Steph Curry's the greatest shooter of all time, and he very well he might be, but you can't then go discredit all the other greatest shooting guards or point guards that came before him and just say, oh no, because he's the newest to do it, he's automatically the best. Now Steph very well may be. But
I don't think anyone's going to say that Steph's the best point guard of all time. Saying he's the best shooter is a whole different argument. Because before that, it was a shooting guard and a small forward, and Ray Allen and Reggie Miller.
Right.
It's a hard argument. That's a tough argument because you haven't seen Clay. You haven't seen Clay by himself. Well, that's the same thing as the center argument. I mean, I think Larry Fitzgerald I'd put over Chris Carter if I was being honest. No, Larry Fitzgerald.
For the Heinz Award.
Yeah, but isn't Chris Carter at the same time? Doesn't he have like some of the most receptions of all time? So he was on one of the highest potent passing offenses. So like at the same time that, like, oh, they pass more now. That argument's almost kind of out the window. Because I'm pretty sure he's top 10 in receptions, but he's not in receiving yards. Like based off of looking at Madden, I don't have the numbers directly in front of me. Well, with one of those people. I think he should have been. I think he should have been the best of all time. Yeah. No, of course they're passing more. I'm just saying if you look at if I take everything into account, speed, size, strength, hands, I can't see myself picking Chris Carter over like a good 4 to 5 people, I'd say. No, that are retired and right now. That's off the top of my head.
That's okay. List is, but and you come out with those 5, and it could be legitimate. Could be poop, but that's your opinion. But if he's in the conversation, and your personal preference does this or that, it's whatever.
I'll say this.
But something like
there's Oak. We can get some alienation.
But like Wayne Corbett is my personal favorite receiver of all time. He was my old growing up. He is, for me, my favorite receiver of all time. So if I'm giving a list of my top 10 receivers of all time, Wayne Corbett's in there. But and you won't convince me of that otherwise. But he's not in the top 100 receivers maybe. He's the original third down threat. But he's the reason you see Wes Welkers and Julian Edelmans and all that.
I will say this though, like whether like I said, I said I could argue the fact that he's second best all time. I'm not saying that he is. I'm saying I could argue it. I will say this, regardless of whether or not you think he's the second best all time or whatever, it was bullshit that he didn't get in the Hall his first ballot.
Oh my God, that's because his off the field problems. It was the biggest joke. The fact that he waited as long as he did was as a fan of him personally, it was a problem.
The fact that he wasn't first ballot and see, that's my thing is I don't care if you're talking about putting somebody in the Football Hall of Fame. It should be about on the field, because NFL Hall of Fame, it's about football, it's about baseball. Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't care if he was gambling.
And it goes about T.O. then.
T.O. should be in.
That's the thing.
T.O. should have been in first ballot.
Writers with personal issues with it. Randy Moss, the same deal.
What up?
Augie was just in here, but then he hopped off, so I don't know. He hopped out of the party. I don't know if he's on the game or what, but...
Did you tell him I was on?
I assumed he saw you pop on when I did. Oh, no, he's not even online anymore. He didn't say anything. He just hopped out of the party and bounced.
He probably ain't fucking with me.
He said he hadn't talked to you in a couple of days, but he didn't say he was mad or anything. Why? What'd you do?
I didn't do shit.
What'd he do?
Not shit. That's just the way it is sometimes, man. Just butthurt over shit.
Okay, so one of you did something if he's butthurt about something.
Shouldn't be putting stuff in people's butts.
That's not what she said.
I'll go to Banyo, but I'm down for any of the stuff we talked about or whatever.
Oh yeah, true story. That shit's so good. Oh, how you feel about starting a franchise in NBA fantasy draft?
Right now?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Nice. Well, Augie was gonna be part of it, but he hopped off. So do you want to call him and see?
My phone is DEAD.
That means he ain't fucking with Augie either. These two are, there's trouble in Lover's Lane with these two. Something's going
Shut the
on.
fuck up.
Somebody shitting someone's cereal or something. I'm saying something happened. But you're just not getting the entire story.
Alright, does anybody, I mean, James, if you know how to set that up so you can get it whether it's one of each or whatever. If you want to set it up.
I'll give you his number and you can call him.
Oh, no, I'm not going to be invasive like that.